I understand many Singaporeans are concerned whether we have sufficient masks in our stockpile. Let me explain how we manage the stockpile. Whether we have sufficient or not will depend on three factors. First, how much we have in our physical stockpile. Second, what's our usage rate, meaning how fast we use up the stockpile. Third will be our resupply, quantum, and frequency. So three factors determine whether we have sufficient stockpile, not just now, but over the longer term. So if we do not manage the private usage rate and prioritize the allocation, we will deprive our essential services, especially the healthcare services, of the mass, and this will in turn jeopardize our entire healthcare system, not allowing us to take care of those who need it the most. Now, the other thing that we must realize is that today we are in a situation where there is a global contingency. And how long this contingency will last is still unknown at this point in time. So we must make sure that our supply lines remain robust. We also cannot assume that our supply lines are not unconstrained or unaffected by the competition that others are taking action to secure their own supply lines as well. So for example, in the last few days, you will have heard that many producers around the world are prioritizing China because it is the epicenter of the current situation. For example, Taiwan has already banned the export of surgical masks. And then you have other healthcare needs in other parts of the world. For example, the Australian bushfire, the situation in Philippines. So the important thing for us to understand is that while we manage our stockpile, we must also manage our usage rate to prioritize those that need it the most, the healthcare workers, the vulnerable ones, and at the same time, we must be cognizant of the challenges that we may face with our resupply lines that come from around the world. So hence, we must judiciously and collectively manage our usage. Give priority to those who need it, and this, again, are the public health agencies and the workers at the front line, and also the vulnerable in our society. Second, manage our personal usage appropriately and only use it when we are going to seek medical help when we are not well. And prepare for the long haul, but never succumb to the short-term fears and panic buying and hoarding behaviors, because this will destroy the entire system that we have. So I can understand the fear and concerns of many Singaporeans, and I appreciate that many Singaporeans, the vast majority of Singaporeans, are staying calm, and they are helping us to manage this for the long haul. However, we also know that there are some in the local community that have taken to hoarding the supplies. And I can understand that such behavior might not be uncommon in many parts of the world when there's an outbreak of an epidemic. But I must emphasize that such behavior, they are not appropriate, they are selfish, and they are not helpful to our collective defense. Now, on the other hand, for the resupplies, notwithstanding the global challenges where many countries are reprioritizing their supply chains, we are continuing to work closely with our partners to identify new suppliers, and we have some other new leads with new countries. But those are work in progress, and we are also making sure that our existing contracts and our existing supply lines are kept robust, because there is now a global contest in some ways to secure the supplies for the respective countries. Right? So our priority of resupply will be to all the public health institutions rather than the private retailers.